I don't know. I think the camera's moved again. I'm always bumping it because whenever I'm cleaning the screen. So I don't know what's happening. Hello, hello to whoever might be here. How are you? I also don't know what's happening up here. Oh dear. Okay. What's that? I don't know. Let's not worry about it. Let's just let it be free to do whatever it wants to do. I don't know what it is. Very tired and busy. I've been up. Oh goodness, nope, I can't. I'm gonna have to sit here and look at myself like a weirdo. I've been up for a while, but I did take a nap today because with Jeff swapping shifts. Oh goodness, nope, nope, nope. Not gonna do that today. Not gonna sit here and fight with it. It's just gonna be down, and it's just gonna look weird. Whatever. Okay, so Jeff swapped shifts. So last night was his first night on the new shift for right now. And hi, Amy and Donna. So since it was his first night on the new shift, I didn't sleep well. Hi, Carol. Now I have hair falling out everywhere. It's all over me. It tickles. I didn't sleep well, and then we got up this morning to go vote, and I did a few things around the house, and I lay down on the couch for an hour because I couldn't. I said, nope, I'm going to get up and I'm going to lay down and then get up because if not, I won't be able to do anything the rest of the day. So I decided I would take a nap because I was going on about 3.5 hours of sleep. And I knew I couldn't function today, and I knew I wanted to function. So here I are. Not refreshed completely, but a little bit. I've been up for a while since then, though, since I took the nap. So now that we have discussed all my crazy, I forgot to take this out. She had her hearing aids. Oh, wow. I wonder why their insurance didn't approve them. I'm glad she got them, though. My throat is doing weird stuff, like always. So I'm glad she got them, though. Did they test them already on her? Did she react anyway? Wow, I didn't know they didn't do it for adults, but she's a baby. She's like just a few months old. Like what? She's 4 months, 5 months now. How old is she, Joanne? I think she was 2 months whenever you first told me. I think. I'm not sure. But she's 6 months now. Okay. Um, there's some other prayer requests that I wanted y'all to remember, and the same ones, but you guys might remember me talking about Oklahoma boy. His Mima had she was sick. Well, she passed away last week, and of course he's having a tough time. So keep him and the rest of the family in your prayers. His real name is Randall, but he goes by Oklahoma boy here on YouTube. He doesn't have a channel. He just follows. He just watches and comments. Ashley, Jaton's daughter, Ashley is pregnant. I haven't heard any more about her. I need to send her a message and ask how she's doing. Keep her in your prayers. Let's see. Carol, how's your friend Mrs. Maddox? because I've got her on here, and Mary Reed Cruz's uncle and her mother keep them. They I had talked about them before. And Donna, also, how is your doctor? It's a weird thing to ask, but you have a different kind of relationship with him. Y'all know him well. How's he? And your friend Bonnie, and also there's Terry who follows my channel. She actually put it on a public comment, so I don't mind. I don't think she'd mind anybody knowing. But she's been suffering from nightmares, but she says that she's doing better. But keep her in your prayers too. She's better and doing well. That's good. And then all the people that were in Idabel, Oklahoma. I want to say it's Oklahoma. I hope that's right. With the tornadoes that went through last week. I don't know how bad everything was, but there's been a lot of activity over that way with tornadoes and stuff. So we need to keep all of them in our prayers. And of course, Selena, always Selena. And if anybody else has any that I need to write down, let me know about that. And Amy, I don't know. Anyway, Amy, keep her in your prayers. I think that you had said something publicly, but I can't remember. But let's see. He has a torn rotator cuff and bilateral ligament tears on his thighs. How did he do all? What kind of accident was it? I thought it was a sporting accident. What you said. I don't know. I might have mistaken that. But either way, that's a lot. But if you guys have anybody else that you want us to pray for, leave it in there. He's had 2 surgeries. Probably need 3. Oh, he was weightlifting. So how did he? Rotator cuff and thighs? How did it? Yeah, well, about your medication. I don't know how else to say it. About them changing things. But how could it be his arm and legs? What was he doing? I can't even picture it, but I'm sure it can happen. But either way, keep her doctor in your prayers. That's tough. That's bad. That's good, Donna, that you finally got them. But if there's anybody else, I'm going to leave this out just in case somebody else comes in. Oh, we weightlifts for competitions. Okay. Just in case anybody else comes in and has a prayer request. Also, my sister Flora, and her oldest, who just went through a divorce. That too, the doctor is taking me off some meds. Yeah, I didn't want to say everything, and I didn't want to say too much because I just don't want to say too much and have you mad at me because I told you business. But that's good, Donna, that she's better. So if I missed anybody, if I left anybody out, please forgive me. Amy, I do want to know, because we have talked about it on here. Did Cameron get all his heart his results back yet? Because I can't remember if I've asked you if he got all of them back. Now I've got this lump in my hair. Let's just not look at my hair today. We're not doing that. We're not looking at it. Let's see. I don't think I missed anybody other than Joanne with your blood loss. They're still testing you and all that stuff. So, if there's any more prayer requests, any more that I need to write down, well, let us know. Yes, but they're doing a sleep study on Monday. Okay. He's going to have all kind of things stuck to his head and his chest and his legs and his everywhere. Like, I think down to the ankles, even wires, unless there's another way to do it now. Okay. I didn't know if there was any change with your stuff, Joanne. I didn't know if they had, done any more testing or to check to make sure things were going up in levels, because I know you had said that they were doing a little bit better. And it's good that they're doing better. It's good that we have prayer warriors here that will stand in the gap, so to speak. I have to have 2 sleep studies. Yeah, it's changed. It's more like staying in a hotel room now. Still holding at 10. That's good. All right. So, um, I guess we'll get on to the Bible study, and then I have something about the new study I want to talk to y'all about at the end. Kind of get your opinion about something that I've been doing to see how you might want me to do it. Uh, the big surgery, Flora? Hi, Val. Thank you so much. Are you talking about the big surgery that I'm thinking about, that you probably know that I'm thinking about? And I don't know if you want me to mention. Okay. Flora had, well, I don't know exactly what you had, if it was gastric bypass or how it was. But anyway, she's having skin surgery. Because she's put in a lot of work and lost a lot of weight and got all kind of skinny. In fact, the first time that Selena saw her, after a few months after she was like, "Is that Aunt Flora?" She almost didn't recognize her. But anyway, yeah. Okay. I didn't know you were doing that Friday. I didn't know when it was going to be done, actually. I know we talked about it, but I didn't know exactly when. But okay, so let's get on to the study for today. And we know things have been happening in 1 Samuel. We know that Saul has gone absolutely nuts and trying to murder David every time he gets a chance. And to me, it's like he's possessed, like Satan has a hold on him so strong that that's the only thing he can do. And he comes back to reality every once in a while, and he sees the error of his ways, and he wants to not hurt David, but then all of a sudden something happens and he goes back to wanting to kill David. He's got to kill him. He's got to be gone. And the people that are around Saul are not helping the situation, because they're telling him, well, David's over here and he's doing this and he's doing that and whatever, that kind of thing. So Saul is in a bad way. He's in a really bad way. And we know that God has taken the kingdom from him. He's taking the kingship from him. I don't know what else to call it, but he's taken his throne because he didn't listen to God. He didn't do what God wanted, what he needed, or anything like that. So we've gotten to the point now where that Saul has decided again, I'm not going to kill you. You could have killed me multiple times. I was in your hand, but you chose to spare my life. I'm going to leave you alone. That is where Saul is at right now. And David went on his way, trusting God, and Saul went on his way and decided to, go back to where his place is. So in chapter 27, we are going to see that, well, also Saul had taken David's wife somehow, like it was Saul's daughter, Micah, taken her, and she's married to another man, which that just really, I don't get how that works, but I guess it's a cultural thing at the time. I don't know. I don't know how that worked out, but it did. And so David was following God. He was doing what he felt God wanted him to do. But now we're going to see, in my opinion, where David steps off the path. He makes mistakes. He loses some faith. So I'm going to start with verse 1 in chapter 27, and I'm just going to read until I want to talk about it, I guess, like I always do. And David said in his heart, now I shall perish some day by the hand of Saul. There is nothing better for me than I should speedily escape to the land of the Philistines, and Saul will despair of me to seek me any more in any part of Israel. So I shall escape out of his hand. So David's saying, I'm leaving Israel. I'm going to the land of the Philistines. He's not trusting God right now. He's going to the land of the false gods, the land of the place where they worship things that are nowhere near God, the place where they took the ark and God pretty much murdered their gods, that fell down, bowed in front of the ark and burst, his head fell off. It's just a torso there, had no arms and legs, it had all broken. So we know that it is an ungodly place that David has decided to go. Then David arose and went over with the 600 men who were with him to Achish, the son of Maoch, king of Gath. So he's not only taking himself to this ungodly place, he has decided to take 600 of his people. And I'm sure these 600 men had spouses and children and stuff like that. That's just me assuming. I could be wrong, but that's my assumption. So David dwelt with Achish at Gath, he and his men, each man with his household, and David with his two wives, Ahinoam the Jezreelitess and Abigail the Carmelitess, Nabal's widow. So, well, I'm assuming what I meant to say was I was assuming some of them had wives. All of them might not have, and children. Then David took his wives. Oh, wait a minute, where was I at? And it was told Saul that David had fled to Gath, so he sought him no more. David was right. He was right. He had no reason to follow him to Gath. Saul had no reason to go into enemy territory because that's where he was. He was in enemy territory. The Philistines wanted to kill the Israelites. Why would David go there to hide? Why would that happen? Which it seems to me that David can't hide anywhere because somebody always knows where he's at. Somebody always tells Saul. But this time Saul said, okay, I'm not worried about it. I'm not going over there. Then David said to Achish, if I have now found favor in your eyes, let them give me a place in some town in the country that I may dwell there. For why should your servant dwell in this royal city with you? So it seems to me like, okay, David found favor in Achish is his eyes, which is the king. At least I believe I'm right about that part. But it doesn't seem like that David wants to be in the king's court like he was Saul's. Maybe he thought, oh, well, if I'm in the king's court, then the king will turn against me. Maybe I need to be out of his line of view. Maybe I need to be over here in the country. I need to be away from him, doing my thing, and he won't notice me. Then David said to Achish, wait a minute, no, I've already read that part. So Achish gave him Ziklag that day. Therefore Ziklag has belonged to the kings of Judah to this day. Now the time that David dwelt in the city of the Philistines was 1 full year and 4 months. So he was there for a year and 4 months. 16 months he was there. And David and his men went up and raided the Jeshurites, saying that wrong, the Girzites and the Amalekites. For those nations were the inhabitants of the land from of old, as you go to Shur, even as far as the land of Egypt. Whenever David attacked the land, he left neither man nor woman alive, but took away the sheep and oxen and donkeys and camels and the apparel and returned and came to Achish. Then Achish would say, where have you made a raid today? And David will say, against the southern area of Judah, or against the southern area of Jerahmeelites, or against the southern area of the Kenites. So he didn't say where he really went. David would save neither man nor woman alive to bring news to Gath. So what he's doing is he is killing Israel's enemies, which are probably, it sounds to me, like Philistines' cohorts, their buddies, and instead of somebody being left behind to go say, hey, your man has come here and killed us. He's doing stuff against you. He's killed everybody in our place. He killed everybody. He killed man, woman, child. He didn't care. He killed all of it, but the animals who could not speak. He kept the animals, and he kept all of the mercantile, all of the clothing, all of those kinds of things. Anything of value except the people. He killed those so that they couldn't come back and inform him. Thus David said, and thus was his behavior all the time he dwelt in the country of the Philistines. So Achish believed David, saying, he has made his people Israel utterly abhor him. Therefore, he will be my servant forever. So he is thinking, the king of Gath is thinking, oh, well, David's on my side. Now he has all the people in Israel scared of him. He has them hating him because he's killing their people, when honestly he was not. He was not doing what he said he was doing. So I feel like David, he's become very deceptive. And correct me if I'm wrong, but as of now, from everything we have learned about David up until this point, he's not been deceptive. He's always been truthful. He's always been honorable. But now he is deceiving the king of the Philistines. So that, I think, is one mistake that he should never have made, because it seems to me that he's not trusting God. He's trusting himself. He's trusting a king who is worshiping false gods, and he is trusting a people who are not of God. He's pretty much thrown God out the door. He's not doing what he should be doing. I seem to be having to drink more water today. I don't know why, and I'm sorry. So that was, I think, David's first mistake. I think in my mind that's the way it looks to me. Now I could be wrong. He could have made a mistake before that I don't remember, but I don't think he did. So far. So now we're going to go on. Now I'm getting attacked by a bug, and I don't know where it went. It was a little fly thing, one of those no-see-em things, but I saw it. We're going to go on to chapter 28, and it says, now it happened in those days that the Philistines gathered their armies together for war to fight with Israel. And Achish said to David, you assuredly know that you will go out with me to battle, you and your men. So he's saying, you're going to go with me to fight your people, right? You're going to go with us, right? And David said to Achish, surely you know what your servant can do. He said, you know what I can do. I've gone and killed all these other people. I've done all these other things. But Achish just doesn't know that he has lied the whole time. And Achish said to David, therefore, I will make you one of my chief guardians forever. So he has put him in a high-ranking position. He is trusting him so much that he is putting him in a high-ranking position. And I know that David is doing this as a survival tactic. But to me, that survival tactic is the start of him thinking, oh, well, it's okay to lie. It's okay to do this. It's okay to do that. That kind of, he let the sin come in. And that's my thoughts about this. This is where he started going wrong in my eyes. Because before this, he was always honest. He was always humble. Yes, we all sin, but he was always like the baby that doesn't know sin yet. But then they do one thing and they get away with it, and they do another and get away with it. So let's go on to verse 3. Now Samuel had died, and all Israel had lamented for him, and buried him in Ramah in his own city. And Saul had put the mediums and the spirits out of the land. The spiritist. That's a hard word. So Saul had, now I don't know if this happened like if it happened before Samuel had died or after. But either way, Saul had gotten rid of all of the psychics, the mediums, the people who would tell you the future and would tell you, they would contact the dead for you, all this stuff. He had killed, jailed, got rid of them, made them leave. He got rid of all of them and put them out of the land. Then the Philistines gathered together. This is verse 4. Sorry, and came up and encamped at Shunem. I said it wrong. So Saul gathered all Israel together, and they encamped at Gilboa. Then, when Saul saw the army of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart trembled greatly. And when Saul inquired of the Lord did not answer him, either by dreams or by Urim or by the prophets. So he's learning, God's not here. God's not with me. Saul is seeing, God's not talking to me. God's not helping me. Then Saul said to his servants, find me a woman who is a medium, that I may go to her and inquire of her. So he wants to go to someone who he has cast out. He is so afraid of the Philistine and their armies that he's going to go do something that's against what he has chosen. He's going to someone who he knows is wrong, who he knows is divining or working divination or whatever the word is, that's doing things they shouldn't. And his servants said to him, in fact, there is a woman who is a medium in Endor. So his servants know where everybody is. Why? How? I don't know. But it seems like his servants are kind of evil if they know all these things. Like they know where everybody is. And in fact, if this is a thought that I had, if they knew that Saul didn't want the mediums around, why would they keep up with them? Why would they know? Were they going to see the mediums themselves? It doesn't say, but it was a thought I had. How would they know that she's in Endor? Other than they kept track of her. So Saul disguised himself and put on other clothes, and he went, and 2 men with him, and they came to the woman by night. And he said, please conduct a seance for me, and bring up for me the one I shall name to you. Then the woman said to him, let's see, amazing what we are willing to do or comprehend when we feel threatened. I love how God includes these examples for us to see we are all susceptible to these traps. That's true, Val. We are. Everybody is. No matter how much you are following God, you can be led astray if you're not really like paying attention. Okay. Yeah, it can be slow, Donna. It can be very slow fade. Well, comprehend still sounded right, Val. It still, to me, it still sounded right. Where was I at? Let me drink more water. I don't know why my mouth is so dry today, but it is. It's just happening. Where was that? Then the woman said to him, look, you know what Saul has done, how he has cut off the mediums and the spiritists from the land. Why then do you lay a snare for my life to cause me to die? We perceive things through the skewed lens when under pressure. That's true. So she's asking him, why are you doing this? Why are you coming to me? Now, I wonder, does she recognize Saul? Does she recognize his people? What does she recognize? Is she still working? Is she still doing her seances? Is she still calling on the dead? Or is she just trying to live a quiet life out by herself and not bug anybody? And then here comes Saul, disguised with his 2 people, asking for a seance. And Saul swore by her toward her by the Lord, saying, As the Lord lives, no punishment shall come upon you for this thing. Then the woman said, Whom shall I bring up for you? And he said, Bring up Samuel for me. When the woman saw Samuel, she cried out with a loud voice, and the woman spoke to Saul, saying, Why have you deceived me? For you are Saul. So she didn't see that it was, we perceive things. Oh, okay, I already read that. Why didn't it look like it jumped? Whenever, I don't know if it does it for y'all the same way. It probably does. Whenever a new thing comes up, it looks like it jumps or something. I don't know. Anyway. And the king said to her, Do not be afraid. What did you see? And the woman said to Saul, I saw a spirit ascending out of the earth. So he said to her, What is his form? And she said, An old man coming up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed down. Now Samuel said to Saul, Why have you disturbed me by bringing me up? And Saul answered, I am deeply distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God has departed from me, and does not answer me any more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called you, that you may reveal to me what I should do. Now I wonder, okay, why did God allow Samuel to come to Saul? Was it really Samuel? I mean, I think it was because of what Samuel says next to Saul. But why did God allow this, but he didn't allow the prophets or the dreams? Because, God does come to people in dreams. Why did he allow this? It just makes me wonder. I don't have an answer. It just does make me wonder. I wonder about lots of things. Then Samuel said, So why do you ask me, seeing the Lord has departed from you and has become your enemy? And the Lord has done for himself as he spoke by me. For the Lord has torn the kingdom out of your hand and given it to your neighbor, David, because you did not obey the voice of the Lord, nor execute his fierce wrath upon Amalek. Therefore the Lord has done this thing to you this day. Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with you into the hand of the Philistines, and tomorrow you and your sons will be with me. In other words, he's saying, you'll be dead. Because Samuel's dead. He's dead. So he says, you're going to be with me. And the Lord will also deliver the army of Israel into the hand of the Philistines. So what Samuel is saying is, Israel is going to be defeated. That's going to happen. And it kind of looks like he's blaming Saul to me. I really don't know if he is, but that's kind of what it sounds like. Immediately Saul fell full length on the ground and was dreadfully afraid because of the words of Samuel, and there was no strength in him, for he had eaten no food all day and all night. Now, we know that this has happened before, something similar. Whenever Saul did not eat, he did not allow his people to eat, and then Jonathan ate. And the rule was, if you eat, you die. But he decided not to kill his son because of other people. But still, why does Saul keep doing this? Why is he deciding to not eat, to not nourish himself, and then go on these long journeys? Because it had to be a long journey. Or do these tasks that he shouldn't be doing. And the woman came to Saul and said, wait a minute, let me say that again. 21. And the woman came to Saul and saw that he was severely troubled and said to him, Look, your maidservant has obeyed your voice, and I have put my life in my hands and heeded the words which you spoke to me. Now, therefore, please heed also the voice of your maidservant, and let me set a piece of bread before you and eat, that you may have strength when you go on your way. But he refused and said, I will not eat. So his servants together with the woman urged him, and he heeded their voice. When he arose from the ground and sat on the bed. Then he arose from the ground and sat on the bed. Now the woman had a fatted calf in the house, and she hastened to kill it. And she took flour and kneaded it, and baked unleavened bread from it. So she brought it before Saul and his servants, and they ate. Then they rose and went away that night. So he left the medium. He didn't kill her. He didn't hurt her. He left her there. She fed him, and he left. And his people left. So Saul has learned that he is now in more trouble. He's now in a bigger mess. And Samuel has said, "You'll be dead tomorrow, you and your sons." So that's all of chapter 28. I don't know why I take notes because I say it all. I guess I take notes in case I forget what I'm saying, but it's okay. Maybe for later. I don't know. But I do wonder why that God spoke through the medium, or if it was God speaking through the medium. I mean, it had to be because Samuel was telling what was going to happen. It's this is a very strange situation for me. I thought I heard a noise. Noah's supposed to be getting up and getting ready for work. Let me go check. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. He had taken a nap too. He was still asleep. He did stay up late last night because he tries to stay on the same schedule he does for work. And then he got up this morning to go vote, so he fell asleep. Anyway, let's see. I wonder the same thing. Yeah. It just, why would God speak through this lady? I don't doubt. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't say it was God. It says it was Samuel. I don't know. Samuel was God's prophet, so I don't know. Anyway, then the Philistines. Oh, I'm on chapter 29 now. Then the Philistines gathered together all their armies at Aphek, and the Israelites encamped by the fountain which is in Jezreel. And the lords of the Philistines passed in review by hundreds and by thousands, but David and his men passed in review at the rear of Ashish. Then the princes of the Philistines says, "What are these Hebrews doing here?" And Ashish said to the princes of the Philistines, "Is this not David, the servant of Saul, king of Israel, who has been with me these days or these years? And to this day I have found no fault in him since he defected to me." But the princes of the Philistines were angry with him. So the princes of the Philistines said to him, "Make this fellow return, that he may go back to the place which you have appointed for him, and do not let him go down with us to battle, lest in the battle he become our adversary. For what with what could be we for what nope. For with what could he reconcile himself to his master, if not with the heads of these men? Is he not David, of whom they sing to one another in dances, saying, Saul has slain his thousands and David his 10,000s? So the princes are saying, wait a minute, what's going to stop him from turning on us? What's going to stop him from killing us and reconciling with Saul by bringing our heads to him? Like, I mean, they probably remember what happened to Goliath. They know that David did this. So they're saying, we don't want him here. We don't want him around us. He's not one of us. His people are not our people. We need to get them gone. We don't want them here. So, verse 6. Then Ashish called David and said to him, "Surely as the Lord lives, you have been upright, and your going out and your coming in with me in the army is good in my sight. For to this day I have not found evil in you since the day of your coming to me. Nevertheless, the Lords do not favor you. So he is so deceived that he does not see anything David's done. He believes that David is upright, and he's not. Therefore, return now and go in peace, that you may not displease the lords of the Philistines. So David said to Achish, but what have I done? And to this day, what have you found in your servant as long as I have been with you, that I may not go and fight against the enemies of my lord the king? Then Achish answered and said to David, I know that you are good in my sight as the angel of God. Nevertheless, the princes of the Philistines have said, he shall not go up with us to the battle. Now therefore, rise early in the morning with your master's servants who have come with you, and as soon as you are up early in the morning, have light, depart. So David and his men rose early to depart in the morning to return to the land of the Philistines, and the Philistines went up to Jezreel. So I don't know if God had a play in this, like if he chose to keep David out of the battle, or what the reasoning was, other than the princes were afraid of David's power, of what he had done, of what he could do, and they didn't trust him. Which at this point, David is not trustworthy, because he did deceive the king of the Philistines. He has been deceptive in this way, and so they were right in not trusting him. They probably didn't know that, but they were right. But I feel like, in my mind, God had a play in this. He decided, hey, I'm not going to let David go fight against my people. He's one of my people. I don't think God liked David being with the Philistines one little bit. I don't think even though that he was still fighting against the Philistines, I don't think, like, he was like a spy, I don't think God approved of that. That's just my thoughts. I could be wrong. He let him stay there for 16 months. So he let the king there believe him, but I just don't feel like it was a God thing. I think maybe God used it, but it wasn't a God thing. So that's all of the ones we said we were going to do today. And if y'all have any thoughts or anything, you can let me know. And let's see. Oh, goodness. What in the world? Things are popping up on my computer. Let's see. I guess next week we'll finish 1 Samuel. It'll be 30 and 31. I didn't know we were already that close to finishing. I didn't know that. So I'll make myself a note, which I really don't have to make a note, because it's the last 2 chapters, but I still like to do it just to keep my brain, in order or whatever. But we'll finish this. You coming home at 6? Love you. You be careful. I'll see you then. But you taking your Jeep? You don't have to close the door. Your daddy's home. I don't have to be in a dungeon. Y'all, he locks me in when I'm by myself. I don't know why, but he locks the door if I'm by myself. Or if I'm going to be by myself whenever he leaves. I like to leave the door open sometimes. I like to have the light. Yeah. Well, he's going to be home. Well, it'll be dark now because the time changed. But next week we'll do 30 and 31. I really am liking studying this. Yeah, Jeff, there'll be a little bit of time, which at night, once it starts getting dark, I close the door. I lock the door. But if it's daytime, I don't. Oh no, I didn't put my little doodad back in the spot. Now I gotta find it again. Oh well, it's not that hard. I already did. I just gotta get to the right part. But yeah, I'm really enjoying learning about who David was, maybe what brought him where he ended up, trying to understand things. Because whenever we first met David, he was a young boy. He was just a shepherd. He was a kid, not bothering anybody outside doing his chores. He was a good kid doing his stuff and following his father's orders. Taking care of the sheep. And then he ends up in these strange situations. And he's honest up until what we read today. And then he starts going, I think that's when he started messing up. I think he got afraid. He started losing his faith in God some. It's the way it seems to me. But I wanted to talk about the new study. Now, I know that some of you have already ordered the study and you've gotten it, which we've got until January to do it. And on the polls that I did, y'all had said y'all wanted to do the actual book and the companion. So I went ahead and got a small group companion too. But what I wanted to talk to y'all about is me and my notes. I sat down and this was a while that it took. I went through the whole year, 1 through 52. Let me take my notes off. That's the polls. And then when I've got my schedule that I want to do, when the first month. I believe it's the first month. Well, the first month and then that first video that I'm going to explain things. But I still want to talk to y'all here. Because I need to know something. I've got this each week. I mean, I know you can't really see it that well, but I've got the date and each week. That's all I have each Thursday figured out. And then I've got it each month, each week's scriptures that we're reading. That's all I have is the scriptures we're reading throughout the whole year. This took a while. But I've got all of it, and it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages if you don't print front and back. I printed front and back on mine. So what I'm trying to figure out, okay, normally when I have a printable for anyone, like when I put a printable for the scripture writing or for like one of my recipes I do on my channel, when I do those printables, I put them on my blog. I kind of don't want to put this on my blog, but I don't know. I don't know if I should do that or not because, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I could just give y'all a link to, I think I could just give y'all a link to these printables. Oh, those papers made the camera do weird stuff. So you can send them out as PDF form, as everyone should be able to open those files. Yeah, I was thinking if I can do a link, this PDF. And if y'all wanted to give me, well, I know some of you already have your email address, but if you wanted to give me your email address, like this is for people who don't have the actual book. And then this is just the schedule for the year, each time that we're supposed to do it. And there's only one problem I see with all of this is if I have to like cancel for whatever reason, like I've had to do with this one at times, With this one, there's no certain schedule, there's no certain anything. It's just, we just do it. But with this, if we don't stick to the schedule, we'll get behind and we'll have to figure that out. And I need to know, would you want me to just do a video anyway? Or do a makeup day? Which on the polls, which I can't close the polls. I could delete them, but someone has said, well, not someone. It has been voted to change the day to Sundays, which I'm not doing that because I've already done all this. It's got to be Thursday now. But we could let Sunday evening or something like that maybe be our makeup day if I missed. I wanted to talk to y'all about that. And I wanted to know the best way that you felt for me to get this to you if you want it. I am going to post it on my community tab because I can do that. You're good with Sunday being makeup day. Okay. I can post this on the community tab and you can print it from there. Or I can send an email. Or I could do both. Because if you send me your email address, I can send you the PDF. And I can also put it on the community tab. I just wanted your opinions because y'all are in this with me now. But I did get this book, and the Kindle book is, I have the Kindle version of the other. Okay. Now, I do, I've looked at this one some. It is different than the other one. I already knew that because I would have said there's no point in getting it if it was the same thing. It is different. It has different questions. So we'll just go over the questions and stuff. But the scriptures that you read are the same. Let me make sure I'm right. Whoa, I need to get on the right month. That'd be a great idea. Let's see. Yes, the scriptures are exactly the same. Just the questions are different. All that stuff is different. So, Sundays will be makeup day. Let me write that down. I always have to write everything down. If I don't, and I always have to have you use the same kind of ink. Yes, I'm that weird. But I'm hoping that I don't miss any, and I'm trying not to miss any on Tuesdays. I've been trying to not, have to miss anything. It's this one, the Bible in 52 Weeks for Women. This one right here is the companion. I have a live stream at 5:30 on Sunday. Well, we can do it at a different time. We don't have to do it at that time. Which your 5:30 or my 5:30? Because you are, it'd be my 4:30 for your 5:30. But this one is the companion that goes with the actual book, and I can't show you the actual book because mine's on Kindle. But I did leave links to it somewhere. But I'll put links to it whenever I post this stuff. I'll put links to it with that too. But I'll have links to both books. You do not have to get both books. It's completely up to you. Actually, if you don't want to, you don't actually have to get the books. But you just won't have the questions and the little other things. You won't have things like this in there. But I will, we'll be going over that stuff at the study. But I'm also wondering, since I am doing this online and reading it, I'm not like giving y'all copies of the book, but I'm going to be reading some of it, and we'll be talking about the questions. I hope that that's not any kind of copyright infringement. I don't think it is because, you do it whenever you're at a regular group study, I was going to suggest that maybe we all might want to consider making our own binder for the study. Yeah, I've thought about that too. And Donna has sent some awesome different divider things, like links and stuff. I don't know if you can link stuff on my community post, Donna, but if we find that you can, or I could just link the stuff if that you sent me, but and different stuff. That way we can. Yeah, I got the study companion because actually I don't know how much it is right now on Amazon, but I got it because I just wanted to be prepared so that we could all, I'm I'm the one that's kind of leading it. So I guess I am leading it. So I wanted to make sure. Now, last week the actual book for this had gone up. The price now, it looks like it has gone back down to $8.99. Yes, it went back down to $8.99 for it, for the paperback version. The spiral bound has gone down in price, and the hardback, I think it has too. But anyway, the paperback's good enough. I mean, if you're going to be writing it, it definitely is. But this is, I didn't want it to be the full price like it was. It's on sale for $14.59. It's normally $16. So I went ahead and got it while it was a little cheaper. But if nothing else, maybe you could ask for it for a Christmas present or something like that. But I don't feel like you actually have to have this, because I am giving you the scriptures that you have to read. And that's what it's all about anyway. You just have to have a Bible. And if you are watching me, you've got a Bible, because you're either watching me on a computer or a phone, and you can get an app on either one of that has a free Bible. And I'm pretty sure all of you who are watching have Bibles anyway. But you can get free apps. Actually, the one app, well, there's more than one, but they'll read the Bible to you. You don't even have to read it. In fact, there's some times where I will just be in the kitchen doing stuff and be listening to it playing, But I don't think you actually have to have the book. This was just something that was just a little extra study. But we can still go over these things during the week, during the Bible study. The questions and stuff, we can turn to the right scriptures that it calls for and all that stuff. I think it's going to be good. I think we're going to get a lot from it. You're going to get Cam to get it for Christmas. Yeah, it's a great Christmas present, I think, which I know that there are some people in the comments with controversial things and stuff, saying different stuff about it. Honestly, part of it is because I don't feel like that they actually read what it was, and they didn't like that. And there were some issues with the spiral bound not being bound the way people liked. And there's issues with people because they're ladies that wrote it and they say that they're pastors. I just don't care about that kind of stuff. And I know that I may get a lot of flack from some people, but I'm not going to judge somebody because of what they feel God called them to do. I believe we're all God's messengers if we choose to be. That's what we're supposed to be doing, is spreading the gospel. That's our job. But anyway, hopefully it'll be really good. And I know that this one is just for women. And I know that some men actually watch this, like they watch it on replay. And I don't think there's any men that actually participate while we're doing this, like live part, but they've commented on it on the replay. But I know it's just for women this time, but this is a totally separate study on a totally different day. But I think it's going to be really good. Now, I don't think I've ever done a study that had as many questions as this. So we're going to be going to school. That's what it's going to feel like, maybe. I don't know. but I think it's going to be good. I'm excited about it. I just wanted to know how y'all, if and how y'all wanted this, because I just thought that would be a good way to do that. Hopefully, I got them all right. I double checked before I printed. Actually, I triple checked before I printed, and just like anything else I do, if you see any typos, please let me know. If you see any problems, please let me know. But that was a lot, but it was fun to do. So, next week we'll be finishing First Samuel, and I guess the next week we'll just go on to Second Samuel because we need to know what else happens, right? We need to know. But yeah, I think this is going to be a really good study there. But I will put it on community tab, and if you choose to send me your email, my email is on the about page. Then I can send it to you that way. But if it's on the community tab, y'all can all grab the link, and it should just be like a PDF link, just like I do whenever I do the script writing plans. So I guess that's all. I don't know of anything else I needed to talk about today. And I have more time today between the study, this, and cooking because Noah's coming home an hour later because of his daily shift change. So I'm going to do some chores. I got to swap clothes over and do some more stuff. So I will see you guys later. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I'm learning that, well, I already knew we all make mistakes, but I really never saw the first thing. Like, I never realized when the first time David started messing up. I know he messed up. We all do. And I'm really glad that God shows us the flaws in the people in the Bible as well as the good things, because if not, they'd all look like perfect. And that's not what any of us are. We're not perfect. So I'll see you guys next time. I do have a video for tonight where I cook the Salisbury steak and other things. There's other things going on. So that'll be at 6 p.m. Central. So in about 3 hours. A little less than 3 hours. So I will see y'all next time. Thank you for hanging out with me today. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels and be sweet.